Oh, what's up everybody? Unrested back again, because you wanted to hear that same soundbite. Unrested back again. Today I'm going to go ahead and cover the life of an artist in Japan from the eyes of Scott Ackerman, aka Unrested. So, pretty much what I mean is I'm done covering anything that has any job connections to teaching, because it's just not my field anymore. I'm going to cover life as an artist, and starting today with how I got my own start in it, what you can do to get your start if you've decided that you want to go in this career path. Not necessarily it's going to work in whatever country you're in, but this is how it worked for me in Japan, for those of you who want to come here and maybe try to do something else other than teach English. So let me just start at the beginning. When I finished college, I was a bit deluded. Maybe not deluded, but possibly naive. Let's put it that way. I really thought that you go through high school, you go through college, you get out and you say, "Everyone, I'm finished with college, where is my job?" And they say, "Scott, just tell us what job you want and it is yours. Sit upon the throne of the art director." But that doesn't happen. And those of you who have gone into the same field know exactly what I'm talking about. Getting into the art field is pretty difficult, and there is a lot of competition, and there's a lot of loopholes and everything that you have to try and cross through to go ahead and get into it, and a lot of probably free and exposure work that you need to do to get your foot in the door, and that's kind of what I'm going to get into today. So first of all, let me start off by saying I kind of got my start, and you've heard about it a little bit before, so I don't want to go too in depth, by actually drawing for the games that I play. And what I mean by that is every week I would play a tabletop RPG, which is kind of like a board game where you use your imagination, for those of you who don't know. And I'd play it every week, and after I'd finish, I would draw what our adventure looked like, because every adventure is unique. The game master, the person who controls the game, creates their own special environment and stuff like that. So I would draw a little scene from it every week. And the players in the game, one of them had been playing a super long time, and he actually had some connections to people in the industry, and he said, "Hey, you know, you're pretty good at this. Have you ever thought about actually like sending some to the publisher of this game?" And I was like, "Oh, let me think about it. Maybe." And he was like, "Well, just do it. Here's a link, and here's an email, and go ahead and just send it to these guys and see what they think." So I did, and they liked it, and they asked me to illustrate for. Hold on, I'll show you. This is my first ever commission for a tiny magazine called Crawl magazine. Okay, and this is Crawl for Dungeon Crawl Classic games, and you can see this is all my artwork. I did all the internal artwork too. There we go. It actually comes out. It's because the inside thing actually becomes a map. That's why it comes out. You can see there. "I'm part of the credits. I'm so famous now, Mom." Okay, so that was like my first start. That's what got me into this, was this little magazine. Thank you very much, little magazine. They sent me 3 copies when I got it. That's one thing. If you ever get into the RPG industry, get ready to get a lot of free RPG stuff. Holy cow. You should see the shelves I have of it now. So anyway, that's how I started, and I made 0 money from that. That was 0 money. Exposure. I got paid in exposure. And you might think, "Whoa, Scott, you know, you shouldn't give away your talent for free." But yes, you should if you want to get your foot in the door when it comes to art. Try to get as many projects as you can that get you into the industry and attached to those people and networking with those people, because before you get anything else, including a job, you need networking. My parents always told me this, and I guess I listened with half an ear, but it really didn't come to fruition until now that I really started to realize, wow, okay, this networking thing totally works. Thanks, Mom and Dad. So after that, I started to get more leads. I got into the job to a point where I started to get steady commissions. Now it's kind of strange. You think you're going to get this like permanent position with the company that you did the first bit of publishing with, but you might actually find yourself scattered between multiple third-party publishers. So don't feel like you're not legit if you're doing it in that manner, because that's exactly how I do it. I have one main publisher who runs the series that I illustrate for, but they have an open source gaming that allows third parties to publish anything they want as long as they approve it, and those are the projects I get to pick up. Now that still brings me kind of lower on the totem pole, but hey, that's where you need to start. I've got a job, I'm drawing, I'm making money from what I love to do, no complaints. I will slowly do my time and work my way up the totem pole just like anybody else should do. Alright, now let me explain a little bit of, I want to go into like what kind of things I have to deal with this job, and if it's that'll tell you if it's for you. For example, to start out with, this is a homebody job, and I say it's a homebody job because I do not have an office aside from my house. I'll put some pictures of my studio up, and you can take a look at what my studio is. I've got a pretty nice, I think it's a pretty nice setup for a studio. I can actually grab the camera now. I'll just show you what it looks like, alright? I'll move this out of the way. This is what I just showed you. Here's what we got, alright? This is my little studio here. We've got the light shining on it right now, so we've got a lot of bad backlighting to mess it up. Take a look at, these are all my supplies that I keep off to the side. I've got this thing that I can raise up and take apart. I can also take it off and use the whole entire desk. This is just a simple sketch. You guys want to see what I'm working on right now? It's a zombie thing about zombies. I don't know, I don't write it, I just draw it. That's what I tell everybody. What the heck are you drawing? I don't know, I just draw it, I don't write it. Okay. So, that's what I've got. I got my own little setup, and that might have to be what you do. And there's pluses and minuses to this. The plus being, you're not renting a separate place to do your work. The minus being, if you're a kind of person who's really extroverted, this may not be the job for you. You might want to look into some other career where you're, out and about and talking to clients nonstop. For me, I do go to client meetings, and it's kind of funny. People always say, well, can't you just do everything from the computer? Well, yes and no. When I have clients who are in Western countries, obviously I don't try to fly to that country. I do go and talk to them on Skype or Google Plus or Google Hangouts, right? But for Japanese are still very old-fashioned. And I don't want to slam Japanese and their computer abilities, but most Japanese are not very good at computers. That's putting it lightly. The country that makes the best computers doesn't know how to use them. That's a saying we have amongst Gaijin here. They tend to not use Skype. They want to see you face to face. And for that, you might ask, do you still cover up the tattoos? Yes, I still cover up the tattoos to go to those. I know you may think like, well, they want a crazy creative person with a wild haircut and earrings and tattoos. My Western people do kind of want that. My Japanese people are still looking for someone pretty conservative. So when I go there, politeness, even if they want to talk in English, because some of these people do want to talk in English, which is awesome for me. I mean, that makes it so much easier to understand what the heck I'm drawing. But English or Japanese, I follow Japanese traditional customs, politeness, and manners. All right, don't ever lose that if you're going to try and get some clients here in Japan. Be ready to use those in either language. The difference between Gaijin and Japanese clients is usually Western clients are going to be more blunt with you. They're going to just tell you up front if they like it or don't like what you've drawn. They'll tell you up front if they like or don't like your layouts, your setups, your underdrawings, your ideas, your pre-sketches, everything. You can get a pretty straight answer. Japanese are going to be a little more vague, and that's not, for them, being vague is not being like tricky or anything like that. For them, it's being very polite. It's trying to get you to change what you're doing without insulting you. And that's just the way things are done in Japanese. Okay, they're not trying to like mix you up as to what you're supposed to do, confuse you and do word magic on you or anything like that. They just don't want to insult you. And for me, when I have a Japanese client, I almost 100% of the time do an underdrawing first and a layout drawing first. For every artist, this could be a little bit different. For me, I usually do that either in really light acrylics or a very, very light pencil sketch if they're only looking for a black and white piece. definitely do that. Do your underdrawing first and get them to confirm that they like the layout. Of course, let them know how you're going to be adding additional detail and stuff like that. Most of these people do understand that the picture is going to look better than your underdrawing. If they don't understand that, then they must have just woken up today and started the art business. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, okay, here we go. Be open to many, many different types of art and many different mediums, but still keep your specialty. That's some advice that one of my college professors gave me once, that if you really want to succeed as an artist, keep your mind open to just about everything that anybody would commission you for. Like, for example, when I was in Florida, some people would ask me to paint golf courses. And I have to say, painting a golf course probably equal to reading the dictionary the entire day, or I don't know, what's a really boring activity? Organizing my sock drawer. That is super boring. For me, I have no passion for anything that's realism painting, because in my mind, I feel like I want to see a golf course, I just go look at a picture of a golf course. I step outside and I go to a golf course. They have them in Japan too. If I want a picture of a beach, I just go look at a beach, okay? The stuff I draw is fantasy stuff because you can't go look at a picture of it. You can look at a painting or another drawing of it, but you can't actually go look at a real fantasy realm. That's what I like. But I keep my mind open, okay? If people really want a realistic picture, if they're set on that, or if they have a photo they want me to work off of, that's fine, I'll do it. Money is money. And that client may later have a job that you really enjoy. So try to not burn down any bridges. Try to keep all doors open. In my career so far, it's a very short one, it's only been like half a year, I have turned down one client. That's it. I take on every commission I get, and that means I'm working like a lot of hours. I'm working 12 to 16 hours, okay? I love what I do, so it doesn't really feel like work for me, and don't get me wrong, I take breaks throughout the day. I eat dinner with my family, I take care of my child and everything like that. You can do that because I'm inside the house, right? So it's not like I'm away from my kid. But I take on every commission I'm offered because it opens so many doors. It just makes sure 100% that the commissions will keep flowing forever. And also, they'll tell other people to be like, well, you should give it to Scott. He never turned anything down. The only one I ever turned down, the guy asked for an underdrawing, and I did it. And then he asked for a second underdrawing, and I did it. And then he asked for a third one, and I did that too. But then I finally was like, he wanted one more. He was like, let me get one more sample. I was like, yeah, maybe you should find someone else for this project. I was really nice about it, very polite, but I said, this is probably not the project for me. You should, I hope I didn't mess up your project by saying I can't take it on. We ended on good terms, but if someone continually asks you for free drawings, which, even if they're under drawings, don't do it. Then it's just getting crazy. You're working way more than you have to for nothing. Let's see, continuing on. Okay, be open but have a specialty. So still have your specialty. Like I said, my specialty is fantasy art. And with your specialty, like me, fantasy art, be passionate. Learn everything you can. Learn about the best artists in that field. Learn about their techniques. Read their blogs. Read the different practices they have, their craft, their art, everything. Master everything. For me, I read all the books that I get, like as far as the stuff my art gets inside of. I'll read the book that they make on top of it. I don't just say, oh, there's my pretty art. Okay, later. Like, I want to read everything, so if the client later says, what did you think of that book? I can actually give them, my own feedback, my own review, so they know that I've actually taken interest in what they've done, because they have an ego too, the writers have an ego too, and you've got to play to that, and that makes them feel good, and that makes you actually get another client or another commission later down the line. Keep that up. Be passionate about your field. Finally, let me just end this with saying, don't lose hope. All right, whatever you do, no matter how much you draw for free or how long you go without ever getting any kind of job in your career field, don't lose hope. I didn't get my job until I was 33, okay? So, if you have passion and you really want to do it, you'll never lose hope. You'll keep trying. Shoot for the stars! Okay, I'm Unrested, this is JFAQ, I'll talk to you next time.